wondered what the self-love movement is all about? I know when I think of that term, I've heard so much messaging about what is self-love. Is it a form of narcissism that you think only of yourself, that it's very self-focused? Hi, I'm Debra Kasowski, three-time best-selling author, speaker, executive coach, and the host of the Millionaire Woman Show. Today, I wanted to talk to you about what is self-love anyway. You've heard the songs. What's love got to do with it, got to do with it? Nothing but a second-hand emotion. Is it really true? So when we think about self-love, I want you to really think about what it truly means to you. It's been given different meanings by different people all along history. But what the self-love movement really, the message is that we need to have that self-regard, that care for oneself, that happiness, that it comes from within. And it really has to do with confidence. So there is a lot of aspects to self-love. You know, when I talk to people, I'd say, when I was first hearing about the movement of self-love, it's like, what are you talking about? I eat healthy, I go to the gym, you do all these things, but it's a way of showing up. It's not just about doing. Now, this pertains to life, leadership, and business. I know some of you are like, what's love got to do with business? You want to be able to love what you do. You want to love the career that you're in. You spend so much time building and nurturing, whether it be in life, business, or leadership. So you want to be able to have that self-love, that self-regard for yourself, because that's part of emotional intelligence. It's part of your growth and who you're becoming in the process along the journey of life. Now, when you're thinking about self-love, one of the things that I really want to talk to you about today is about that self-talk and comparison. So first I'm going to start with the self-talk part. The self-talk is that voice when you want to give a presentation in front of the boardroom and you already start telling yourself that you're missing some stats and figures, you didn't prepare enough, and you are getting into that self-depreciating moment right before you go on. So if you do that before you go on, imagine what's going to happen when you execute and go in front of people. You're going to be sweating bullets, fumbling over your words, dropping pieces of paper. That self-talk, you set yourself up for that result. Now, with my work, we don't go into, you could have did this, you screwed up this, and you did that. No, it's not about that. What I want you to do is what we call feed forward. And it is about, what am I going to do better? What was the best thing about the presentation? Where did my strengths really shine? And what can I do to be even better the next time around? Now, when we hear things about how well we did in certain areas, it could be as simple as that you paused between your sentences, that you maintained eye contact, that you had a good posture, your tone was appropriate. Now, if we can start giving that type of language to ourselves and paying attention to what went right versus what went wrong, then we can also appreciate what we can learn moving forward. Because when you are beating yourself up about what didn't work, you close yourself off and you're not open to receiving the feedback. You're not open to the lessons in front of you. So what I want you to do is really pay attention to how you're talking to yourself. The other thing is that comparison. Often what happens when people get caught in what we call the comparison trap, they're looking at one person in one moment of time saying, look at them. They've got it all together. But little do you see is that they've got like a duck in water paddling away underneath the water just to keep afloat, holding it together. Now, don't think that anyone is immune to having stresses in their lives. Now, what's hard for one person is hard for one person, maybe not the other. But what they're doing is they all have developed their own coping strategies and all are resilient to different situations. So I want you to think about the ways in which you can manage stress, how you can cope with situations so that you can come out stronger, more powerful than you give yourself credit for. Because I can tell you right now, you are stronger than you think, and you can get through many situations. You already have, because a lot of those situations were uncertainty. So when you're comparing yourself to others, imagine being the whole lifetime in someone else's shoes versus that one single moment. Chances are you wouldn't give up everything that you've gone through to get to where you are today. So when you're talking about self-love, we're talking about talking kindly to yourself. Are you also talking to yourself as you would a best friend? Would you be supportive and encouraging and say, you got this, you can do this, instead of, oh, you know what, you're not prepared, and all these things. Instead, you want to build yourself up, give yourself that self-encouragement so you can show up as your best self. Now, that's a lot different than being selfish and narcissistic. In being able to give the best of yourself is really what self-love is about. And being able to encourage yourself and be strong and be that person, the best version of yourself, of whatever's capable that day. Because, people have off days, and you're not always going to be at 100%. You might be 80% one day, 90 the next. But whatever is your best that day, give yourself grace for showing up. Give yourself that extra motivation to do what you love. Because when you love what you do, you aren't going to spend time comparing yourself to another person. And, people get caught up in social media, scrolling, and they're looking at this person, and all of a sudden they catch themselves going into a place of lack. Now, if I'm walking into a board meeting, I'm needing to negotiate a deal, or I want to, encourage someone to understand how working with a coach could benefit them. Now, if I'm having all that self-talk that I'm no good and all of those kind of things, how confident is the person that I'm going to be working with going to believe in me? See, what we reflect out to the world is what we receive back. And when you can provide that encouragement, love, support for yourself, you're going to find that those other people around you are going to do the same, not only for themselves, but to you as well, and give you the grace that you need when things don't go as planned. And then we can feed forward and have our best experiences. Now, if we came from a place of thinking about what is possible and appreciating the possibilities of what we're capable of, we'd realize that we are really limitless potential. We have so much that's available to us to really move forward. Some people can't even look in a mirror when they walk by it because of the self-loathing, what they believe of themselves. Now, because it's, around Valentine's Day, and this is kind of evergreen material as well, there is a lot of what self-love got to do with it. The reason I created this for you is it has a lot to do with it. It has to do with that belief in self, your emotional expression, feeling confident enough to express how you feel without being so concerned about how others will take you, being able to express it in a mature manner versus, being reactive, versus coming from a place of being responsive when you need to share your needs. So many people, what they do is they shrink so small and they close up. They don't express themselves because of the fear of how others are going to react to them. They're worried that someone's going to get mad at them. Now, that doesn't feel very safe, does it? So part of that self-love is being able to set boundaries, be respectful of self and others, and that self-regard to continue to take care of yourself, making sure you get a good night's sleep, that you're eating properly, you're exercising, and you're letting your voice be heard. Because it is your mental, your spiritual, your emotional, all of these pieces of your health make you a whole person. You're not one way in life, another way in your career, and another way in a business or your leadership potential. We want you to be able to show up fully all of the time. So when you're thinking about self-love, understand no matter if you're a man or a woman, or, thinking about what's self-love got to do with it when I am grinding or hustling, or however the terminology you want to talk about, in achieving my goals and dreams. It has a lot to do with it, because your thoughts are influenced by your beliefs, what you believe to be true about yourself. And that's how you're going to show up. And that's how you're going to feel. Like, if you feel great about how you're thinking about yourself and your capabilities, your abilities, your talents, and your knowledge, and what's possible for you, then I can guarantee you're going to take the actions. You won't hold back. You won't sabotage last minute to get the results that you want and get that outcome. But I'll tell you what, if you are coming from a place of doubting, listening to the naysayers, allowing that to seep into your psyche, you're not going to feel so confident about yourself and your abilities, and likely not going to take the actions that you want to get the results. So when you start paying attention to the self-talk that you're saying to yourself, to the gremlin that's saying, you know what, you've tried this before, it didn't work. You just say, I'm not going to listen to you. You're going to stay focused, you're going to be consistent, and you're going to stay on your game. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Pay attention to what you need to do to get to where you want to be. That's self-love. And it's not that you're disregarding others. You can listen. But as long as they're coming from a place of being encouraging, supportive, being able to feed forward so that you can learn and grow in a constructive way, that's what makes the difference. If they're there just to seep in their doubt and their own fears, you're not going to listen to those things. And when your fear comes up, your doubt comes up, don't hesitate to question it, reevaluate it, and see, is there truth? If not, it's out the door, because you have enough self-regard for yourself to know that you're confident in your abilities, you can deliver on expectations, and you are stronger than you think, and you can make things happen. Now, pay attention to those thoughts, because they're influenced by your beliefs, lead to how you feel about things, and the actions you're willing to take. And then you can make things happen. Thank you for joining me. I would love for you to go over to my website. Again, I'm Debra Kasowski. My website is debrakasowski.com. And I would love to connect with you so that you can learn more about coaching or some of my presentations or workshops. Have a great day.